And then I think we can start. Hey everyone, thanks for joining us tonight or wherever you are calling in or zooming in from. Welcome to, I believe this is the third or fourth edition of our monthly FYLPRO alumni and member mixer. This is a special edition because we are celebrating Tayo's fifth anniversary. I'm looking forward to reconnecting with a lot of folks that have been with us on this journey from the beginning, and also new folks that want to learn more about what we do at Tayo and what we have been doing, what we have done, and what is next to come for us. So I'm going to go through a quick recap of all our key achievements and successes throughout the years, and then I'm going to turn it over to folks that have been so integral and crucial to our journey right after, and then you'll get a special presentation from our Tayo Tech team, who's been working on a really cool chatbot as part of that, and then we'll wrap up, and whoever wants to stay to chat a little bit more, feel free, because I know it's gonna be a little late for folks on the East Coast. So yeah, so let's kick it off. Let me get my in here. Okay, so Tayo. Um, okay, whoops. So I wanted to play that because that was one of our first sizzles, first promo when we started 5 years ago. And as you can see, it was really geared towards a rapid response to COVID-19. And we wanted to have something for our community as we saw a lot of misinformation floating around there. And but there wasn't really anything that catered or really was tailored to Filipinos in the diaspora. So that is really kind of the spark and what led to the creation of Tayo. So this shout out to our Tayo fellows in our first inaugural class who really helped to get us off the ground. And one of our fellows actually did this promo for us. So I'll go this. Um, and I realized I didn't introduce myself, so I'm Lisa Ting Lau. I am immediate past president of FYLPRO, which is the Filipino Young Leaders Program. And Tayo is a project of FYLPRO. We are an innovative data hub that empowers Filipinx AO communities by collecting data, fostering partnerships, publishing culturally tailored, relevant insights, and developing leaders to create an equitable and sustainable future. So we are a project of FYLPRO. I am one of the co-founders of Tayo, as well as this project director. And, as we get further into the evening, you'll hear some testimonials from folks that really kind of help shape what Tayo is today as a place and space to really come together and, really kind of spread the care that we have for each other in so many different ways. So it's been incredibly humbling and life-changing experience for me. And you'll hear more from folks later today about kind of how Tayo has been able to impact them personally, but as well as the community in itself. So yeah, like I said, if you're not so familiar with kind of our origin story, it really came out of, if you recall from the early pandemic, we were all basically asked to shelter in place, stay home, And for us that are alums of the Filipino Young Leaders Program, it's hard to just sit around and not do anything. And especially when we saw the pandemic really hit our community really hard, from not only health workers, but for frontliners and everybody else, that is part of your immediate network. So, it really started out as a task force to respond to this crisis. I think to take a quote from our medical advisor, Dr. Melissa Palma, ultimately, why do we do Tayo? Why do we still do it today? Is, and especially in those early days, we just didn't want to see more of our kababayans die. And I think that is still true today. Whatever we can do to arm our community with the information they need so that they have the tools to make the most informed decisions. That's something that obviously is still very key to what our work today. So we went from basically responding to rapid response to COVID, from a pandemic to infodemic, right? And we started seeing a lot of these like messages from our family members and in our network, just asking about what is true, what isn't. So that really kind of prompted us into spring into action. And the result was this. We launched Tayo back in October 17th to 2020, with basically 500 Q&As.
Hey, Zell.
Yeah,
Hey, it's TJ. I think you have a great box on your share screen that's kind of like on the right-hand side. Are you seeing that?
no, hold on. Okay, is it gone
There
now?
we go. Now it's gone.
Sorry.
Thank you
Okay,
so much,
thank
Zell. Just looking out for you, cuz. I see you
okay,
doing a great job. You look great. You eat,
thank you.
you look great. Okay, go
Appreciate
ahead.
you.
Go do what you do.
Okay. Um, like I was saying, we launched TayoHelp.com back in 2020, in October, with 500 Q&As, both in English and in Filipino Tagalog, about the most frequently asked questions around COVID. And we could not have done that without the help of our inaugural Tayo Fellow class, who really kind of helped launch this into existence. Um, and as well as our larger network of folks that we've brought along the way. What's key to us is, what makes Tayo different is we really focus at the core of making sure we're culturally tailoring our information. This is a example of what we mean by that. And these are actually two questions that we got through our Tayo platform. Can I get COVID from the mRNA vaccines? Will the vaccine change my DNA? And you could have easily answered that pretty straight, and we did. But what better way to really connect with our intergenerational community but through food? And as we know, that food is a love language for us, kababayans. So pictured here is Sheena, who is part of our Thai research team, and partnering up with other different health organizations to really try to answer this question: why, can you get COVID from mRNA vaccines? And the answer is no. And using this food analogy to explain it. And every time we've shown this, people get it immediately. So I think that has been a great validation in terms of what we wanted to accomplish through Tayo. And then throughout the different years, we've gotten a lot of different types of funding from different sources to really encourage more vaccine confidence. Um, in particular, we got several rounds of funding from HHS to encourage vaccinations, and then also the booster shot, and got to do really interesting different things with that, and through the help of our Tayo fellows. And since we started, we've gone beyond COVID. We've also gotten funding to do different types of articles, everything from just general public health to doing racial equity work, which all kind of falls into our mission to make sure that we are providing the best information out there for our community. So here you can see the different types of uh, events and different articles we've been able to do over the course of 5 years. Everything from doing webinars on anti-Blackness to doing healthy eating. On the right, you can see we did a series. It's almost going to be a year ago on just how to make heart healthy recipes for and adding that to your diet, and that's been pretty a great outlet for a lot of us that have been in this in the beginning. And then also tackling more sensitive issues and more timely issues, everything from like the elections and doing fact checks and unpacking things like colorism in our culture as well. Um, just this year alone, I'll quickly go through this really quick in terms of some of the highlights from this year. We just finished up with our sixth class of summer fellows. We had a Tire Youth Summit led by our high school students in that fellowship class. We joined several different collectives, including the Tiny News Collective. We've been on the conference circuit. We've also been published in several different places and also have presented at major conferences, everything from academia to health communication and whatnot. And we got our first two national awards, one from the Asian American Journalists Association, and then we're about to get one from the American Public Health Association, Asian and Pacific Islander Caucus for Public Health, and that's going to be awarded to us next month. I mean, this is just this year, y'all. And then we also have been kind of darting across the US with hosting different meetups with FYLPRO, as well as a round of different webinars, everything from anti-Blackness to having difficult conversations, talking about the state of immigration. Our gout webinar was in particularly very well received. We're doing a part 2 on that, so stay tuned for that. And then, how do we navigate AI, especially in this kind of age of trying to spot the fakes? And then we also publish a couple of like explainers, knowing your rights, social security, like a social security explainer, and then just like overall racial equity, solidarity. In our ongoing work, still a lot. We are an all volunteer team. We have been from the very beginning. We do this work during nights and weekends. We have met almost every Sunday for the last 5 years. So those meetings are open. So for anybody who wants to join us, please let us know. And, aside from culturally tailoring content, we're really big on combating the lack of disaggregated data. So we like to participate in, research and studies to make sure that we are represented everywhere we can. So you can see here on this page, there's a survey you can participate in and change insight. We are part of also CARE 2.0, which is a national registry to get more APAs in there so that researchers that are looking to do research on our community are able to find participants easily. And then exciting stuff, we are also publishing a anthology, and that's not going to come out recently. It's not going to come out recently, but it's going to come out in the next few years. And that's really based on our work, our oral history work in trying to collect stories in our community to help inform our combating misinformation work. And then we also have a chatbot, which you'll hear about a little later. And that's super exciting to see kind of that, come to life. The other thing that's coming up too next month, we are an honorable mention for the Build Up Trust Challenge, and that's through NIH. And the team is going to be pitching for a 1 in 4 chance at $200,000. So hopefully we'll be able to get some good segue there. And then we also dropped a public service announcement campaign And I wanted to play all of these just in case you haven't seen it, because they are amazing. And this is what we mean by culturally tailoring content. So shout out to the Angelus company, Meriden and Steve Angelus, who were the director and producer of these. And really, this is really to make sure that we get our community vaccinated, just to keep everyone safe. So really going back to our roots here. So I'm gonna play. There's 3 of them. So hopefully you've seen them on social. If not, we can watch them really quick. But I wanted to make sure folks got to see these, and then we can go to testimonials. So let's see. Oops. Okay, so this is the first one. You'll see these are all interconnected in some way.
What's going on, mahal?
May you rest in peace.
Bringing immunity to the community.
Ay nako, another dramatic vaccine commercial. Fake news. Money-making trick lang. Right, mahal?
The boy's so tigas ulo. You should have listened.
Now, this shot, much better than any vaccine. Who wants one?
Ah, Tito Boy, I feel your spirit.
What's going on, mahal?
This is your novena. You didn't get your vaccine. May you rest in peace.
Got the kids vaccinated for school. Tita Flor, Tita Boy, you both should get your vaccines too.
Let's go na. I can't miss being the life of the party.
So that's the first one. And if you can't tell already, they're taking a page out of a teleseria called Magvax Tayo. So that's PSA number 1. Go to number 2.
Did you get yours now?
I want it now. I want mine. I want to be social too. Hola! The queen is here. Oh, eto. I brought you the big saran wrap so you can cover your furniture and keep it away from germs. And this sparkly thing, use it for your skin. The one inside, 4 times a day. The famous Sino Siya uses it.
So I can be social media influencers like you.
Expensive yan.
Alam mo ba, Maxine is completing her master's next week, and Vince Restaurant Cebuchon Barbecue in Real is getting a 5-star reviews.
Gagaling talaga ng mga pamangkin ko. I hope Vince cooks tonight and not you. Teka, Luke, ano yan?
Ito, this, just the latest RSV, COVID, and flu vaccines. Did you get yours now?
Ako pa? Matagal na, last year pa.
That was so last season. Yeah, you need new ones every year to keep up with the latest trends. Fighting influencers is the best way to be an influencer, and always staying in style.
Gusto ko yan. I want mine now. Now. I want mine. I want to be social too.
Health is wealth.
Okay, that was number 2. And then this is the last one.
Oh! I can't believe she took my hand sanitizer.
Does she know who I am?
You know, I'm actually very healthy because I am so careful.
Relax, Paul. This will be faster than a slot machine auto spin button. And way safer than betting your last chip on blackjack.
Blackjack? Does she know who I am? I am a professional mahjong player.
Here we go again. My favorite kind of patients. They gamble with their health as if they have unlimited casino chips.
Sus Maria Jose, if this vaccine messes me up, I'm gonna haunt you in your break room.
That's it. Tapos na.
Oh, It's less painful than bingo the other night. You should join us. We play every Wednesday. Do you have a boyfriend? You should meet my chef nephew Vince. He plays bingo here.
You know, I think we've hit the jackpot already by getting you vaccinated and immune. Just tell the others, okay? Ingat po.
Mars, pa-vaccinate ka sa church health fair right now, ha? Oo. Oo, no. Mag-lechon ta later. Oo.
When they find out the benefits and ease of vaccination, it's worth the struggle, bringing immunity to the community. But I can't believe she took my hand sanitizer. Visit tayohelp.com for more information.
So that was the last one. So I wanted to make sure I got a chance to play it. Please add any feedback. Definitely want to pass that along to Meriden and Steve Angelus. They did a fantastic job, but that's really, I think, encapsulates what we do at Tayo, which is really making sure we are culturally tailoring these topics so that they really resonate. So I think all three of those really encapsulates all that. And then before I hand it off to folks to do kind of testimonials, I just want to give you guys a quick update of kind of where we're at. So like I mentioned, Tayo started out as a project of FYLPRO. So we are actually going to be graduating to spin off as our own 501c3. The board approved moving forward in this graduation over the summer. So we are currently in that process. We received our certificate of incorporation from the state of Delaware last month, and we're just in the process of filing for an EIN, and then all the things that come with transferring assets and all of that. So we expect if all goes well, we'll probably be fully graduated by the spring of 2026, where we are hopefully planning to do an actual graduation. You know, we're not going away. Obviously, for a lot of us that are part of FYLPRO, that's always going to be there. But I think in our for this, we've grown and we've kind of really grown under the care and being able to incubate this under FYLPRO. So I think it felt like it was a good time to fly a coop, I guess, or whatever that that saying is. So would want to thank the FYLPRO board for their support along the way on that. But we're still here until then, and we'll always still be part of that larger network. And then upcoming is, I just want to shout this out before I hand it off, is if you are in the Detroit area, we are having a quick meetup this Friday. And you can see the details there. And then we have a few more webinars we want to do before the end of the year. I mentioned the gout part 2, and then I think this is going to be a series, something about diabetes, and then kind Tayo heart health. And then I think that's it for me. I think I'm on time, so I'm gonna hand it over to Joed to get us going for the next part of the celebration. Joed?
Yeah, hi everybody. Thank you, Lizelle. Before we move forward, everyone give Lizelle a big round of applause, and also yourself. You've all been a part of Tayo and all those accomplishments. I mean, there were so many accomplishments. I was thinking she might need a bigger slide or, you know, smaller font, because there were so many to be mentioned and highlighted. And if we didn't get to all of them, I mean, that's such a big win. There's just too many accomplishments to mention. So we're very proud of how far Tayo's come and all the great work you've all contributed to. But we just wanted to, you know, give you all space to share any testimonials of your time in Tayo. What were maybe meaningful moments? What were any takeaways? Any highlights that you'd like to share? We kind of want this to be an open forum, so you're welcome to unmute yourselves and share your experience. And yeah, would anyone like to start us off?
Great, I'll go. This sounds like a really great time for me to go. Hi, everybody. It's me, TJ. It's so good to see you. For everyone I don't know, TJ Simba Medell. Pronouns are he, him, is. Yeah, or he, him. And then I think I'm in Denver. Sorry, I had to think about that for a minute. I live in an RV. So it's been wild. I lived in like Arkansas, Chicago, and then I think I was living on I-40 for about like 3 years. It was wild. So yeah, my position in Tayo, co-founder as well as like education and outreach culture director, really just working with the fellowship. And I think for me, I think what for Tayo every year, hey, I just want to let you know I'm unmuting because we're doing an open forum thing, so I'm talking right now. Sorry, I'm with Crystal. She also here. Ooh, this is gonna be great. Context is gonna come later. But let me, yeah, if you want to go ahead. We just got our food. You know what I mean? We got to eat. Filipinos got to eat. And yeah, just the fellowship. That's very simple for me. Doing the fellowship every year, being able to reach out because like my background is in education. My background specifically with like art has always been art outreach. But like I've always done that for communities that never really looked like me or had like that Filipino experience, Filipino American experience, the diasporic experience, you know. So for me, for the team to trust me as well as Crystal, as well as every single fellow that came through and stuck it through and kind of like, and I'll always say this is like, we really don't know what it looks like ever. We really truly make up everything as we go in order to honor the spirit of Kapwa and like really being present in what we could need at that time and holding up that spirit for the fellowship or just being with my cousins has been such a wild dynamic to evolve through the times we're in. So I think for all of that, I'm incredibly grateful to be able to not only learn from the generation that looks up to us, calls us titos and titas and kuyas and ates. I know we don't, I mean, I got called Tito T this year, so that kind of like, whoa. And that was the first time I had ever, outside of my own niece, that was wild. Shout outs to Serena. And then I think I really what I want to say is like, yeah, it kind of helps me or humbles me, especially in my everyday life. You know, what kind of kuya do I want to be? What kind of tito do I want to look like? When I think about being a lolo or you know, someday it's like, what legacies, what things that I try to help them, what kind of spaces could I held for them? And the fellowship gives me an opportunity to kind of talk to the village in that way. So I think for me, again, just want to go ahead and land my plane right there. Kind of very grateful for all the fellows and everybody who trusted us with their journey of growth throughout these times. Chris, you want to say something since we in the same box?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. It's good to see folks. Nice to meet folks I haven't met yet. My name is Crystal Canare. I'm currently here in Denver, Colorado, but originally based in the Washington, D.C. metro area, where I started Thayo about 5 years ago, quarantined in D.C., not knowing what community looked like for me. And so prior to COVID happening, I had gone on the immersion program that FYLPRO has and met many different people in my batch, including Lizelle and TJ. And we had all joined the board at that time. And during that time, we were known for our immersion program, you know, still are. And at that time, because of COVID, they FYLPRO was trying to, you know, imagine like, what are we in addition to that immersion program if we can't travel during this time? And so the COVID-19 task force that would become Thayo was formed. And this was my space for organizing, and it continues to be every Sunday. And over time, my original role in the organization was serving as a co-fellowship director with TJ. And I think that has been my favorite part of this because, you know, FYLPRO, part of it is leadership development and how do we continue doing this work and not holding it all at the same time, but holding it with one another. And I feel like I continue to hold the work with other people, even in my personal life now. And some of those people are former fellows. And so it's been so reassuring to me that I found community in this way. saw a lot of our fellows graduate from high school to college in their now first time, second jobs, and being able to serve as a sense of support for them throughout the years. And again, vice versa, them now being able to hold me during tough times. And so just really grateful for all of them. I want to give a shout out to Olivia and Joed. They really took on the mantle this year as leading the fellowship program. And I know a lot of fellows from this cohort want to continue to support on the administrative end. And so when I say it doesn't have to be me and TJ, it really doesn't. And so really excited to see the fellowship program continue to grow and see all the great leaders that are coming out of the program, over 100 at this point by now. And another role that I've played was serving as mental health advisor. I think over the years, my role in my daytime job became more and more involved in the mental health field, the mental health policy field. And so I'm really glad to be able to do my daytime job and also incorporate THIO in that too. So anything regarding Filipino American mental health, there's a growing team that is involved now. And so just grateful for the THIO team. Even if I'm not there every Sunday, a huge thanks to Lizelle in particular for continuing to lead us and hold us accountable and be our sense of support and always just be there for us. Whenever there's a travel thing on that, like fly-in, it's usually Lizelle. And so just want to also just give a shout out to Lizelle for her leadership over the years, for being that landing place for me. Yeah, that's me.
Thank you, Ate Crystal and Kuya TJ. It was so awesome to hear from both of you since I haven't seen you in a while, so I'm really grateful to be here with y'all. I want to open it up to anybody else who would like to share their experience. You're welcome to unmute yourself or even put it in the chat if that's more comfortable for you.
Hi. My name's Nicole. Now I'm this year, I've been going by Nico. I was one of the first fellows with TJ and Crystal. I I think I was like your baby class, more or less. A lot of inside jokes, a lot more memorable stuff off to the side. It's been a while since I've been back into the TIO spaces, or the FYLPRO spaces. It's been again like 5 years. I joined beginning of COVID. I was recently just graduated UCI as an undergrad. I already did a lot of student organizing with Philam orgs on campus and then Philam orgs across locale. I think one of my highlights from my time was, like you just said, we didn't know where it was gonna go, but that was the beauty of the creativity and innovation of it. Whereas like we took it where the community needs it to be. And so one of my things that I did was I actually led the first TIO, was it the New Year celebration? I think it was the New Year celebration. I'm really good at event planning, y'all. So yes, together sa tayo. And I think what was like wonderful was like I was bringing in my local community because I was based in the Inland Empire at the time near Riverside. And I remember bringing in like my boss at the time, folks from the community. They all recognized Lizelle, and that was really crazy to me because like how far back Lizelle went with the IE community. And I was just like, oh, hey. Like Tita Mila was like, oh my God, Lizelle, I remember your piece that you did on us. So, overall in that essence, what Taya was able to bring to me and my experiences was just like what the community building looking like across the generations, across the country actually too as well. And then, what really brings folks together, to overcome isolation, to overcome the hardships of daily living, the stresses of COVID, also, the missing of home because how difficult it was during COVID to even go home, so many deaths that it was really hard to grieve. Everyone was grieving over Zoom. And so the sense of community towards the Together Satire really enlivened and empowered a lot of folks like, let's continue to find community. Let's be creative how we're going to build community. And it's also made it a worthwhile thing that once we were able to vaccinate each other, and once we're able to inform everyone how important it is to make sure we're all safe, that's made being together in community worthwhile. So yeah, so many good songs. I think we played a game, but I cannot remember what game it was. But yeah, I think since then, um, like, shout out to Crystal and Lizelle. Whenever y'all are over in SoCal or California, somehow we're all meeting up. And that's like the most beautiful part of Tayo, is just like you still have a community after your time, after you graduate and transition out of your time. Um, and so yeah. I don't know what else to share. I'm still building and organizing a community while I'm like trying to be a CNA. So
Thank you so much, Nico. What a lovely experience you've had. And thanks for continuing to work with our community in your own different ways, especially in the SoCal area. I'm also in the SoCal area. So if you want to connect, let me know. um, and anyone else, you're also welcome to unmute and share your experience. It could be, oh, you're in the Bay. That's cool too. But if you'd like to unmute, share, it could be highlights, positive memories, experiences, anything of your time in Tayo.
I can go. Hi, I'm Andrea, and in the span of Tayo's 5 years, I'm fairly new to the game. I joined in January as senior editor, and you know, I think Tayo came at the right time in my life, and I was closing in on a year at. I've been an editor for a while now since I was out of college, and I was in a publication where it was a pretty white dominated publication, and I just felt like as one of the only minorities in the room that I either had to over explain who I was as a Filipino American, or I was just working on stories that didn't pertain to me or my family or my friends. And so when I heard that Tayo was looking for a senior editor, I was just about to give up on editing. I was like so over it. And so, it's been a wonderful opportunity to shape stories and work with other um, people around the country on sharing stories that um, matter not just to me but to people who look like me and come from the same type of family as me, and to connect on those in those types of ways. I think one of my favorite pieces I worked on was how to have difficult conversations with your family, because it's I think the time and the age that we're in, it is very hard, and I really enjoyed working on that piece. And I my mom is a nurse and my dad is an engineer, and um and so as a creative, they for the bulk of my career they don't know how to brag about me. Like, they don't know how to talk about my career. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a doctor, I don't do any of that. And so they would always just be like, yeah, she like writes and she like does stuff. And so to be in a space where they're willing to share the work and willing to share that, is really, I think it really has reinvigorated me as an editor. And I'm excited to share these stories now because they matter to me. And I'm excited to help shape them in a way that they can reach an audience. And that's just, it's been a very fun experience and an amazing experience to kind of get that light again.
Wow, that was beautifully said. Thank you so much, Andrea. We appreciate that and the work you do, especially for the representation you have for our community, and working with Tayo and being able to get that light back is so important, and it makes life meaningful and purposeful. So thank you so much for sharing that. Would anybody else like to share? Feel free to unmute, put in the chat.
Can you guys hear me? I can share. So I joined Tayo also as pretty new as a 2025 summer fellow. Um, and um, I'm part of the tech team that we'll be presenting later. So I won't talk too much about that, but a lot of what I can think of from my experience is that it's like um, I'm so glad I found the community and that it was a community that I wish I had like found sooner. I think that I I went to school in the Bay Area, and so I was connected with like my college campus org and some other orgs. Um, and got to really be a part of like different communities as well, one of which was the Council of Young Filipinx Americans in Medicine, or CYFAM, if folks know about them. um, and then after college, I moved to Boston for work. And yeah, this is what I was like, because there's not as many like Filipino Americans in New England. There are a lot, but we're kind of just more dispersed. Like a I found myself for a couple years trying to think of like how can I get involved and also acclimating, so I really wasn't sure. But yeah, it's like being part of the fellow program really reminded me why I started doing a lot of this work, particularly in college. Um, it brought me in touch with a community that I wasn't sure I'd be able to like have again. I was kind of thinking, oh, this was like um, these communities are here because of my location in the Bay Area. But I'm so glad to have found people across um, the United States and like the globe who are really committed to this mission. Um, and I think that, yeah, I'm just continuously inspired by the work that a lot of people do, both in the name of FYLPRO and Tayo, but also in their other roles as well. I think that, I immigrated from the Philippines when I was like 8 years old. And I feel like, yeah, this community has helped me really put into words how and put into words and into action like the kind of impact I want to make. And yeah, just like after a few years of being like, where can I spend my time and find this kind of community? I'm so glad that there's kind of like a more diffuse but also, great network of people who are just happy to help each other out, who are committed to the same missions, committed to the same communities, and just really opening up like opportunities for um, people everywhere. So I'm really grateful for how Tayo empowers people to like use their talents and skills for this mission.
Thank you, Raphael. That was so well said. I feel like you were spot on. It definitely creates community and opportunities that we might not even know at the beginning of the summer fellowship, but at the end we have so many accomplishments and projects we didn't even anticipate. So thank you for sharing that. Um, Anybody else would like to share? We dedicated lots of time for testimonials. So if you're eager to share or even feeling a little shy, you're still welcome to unmute and share your experience. Going once. Anybody would like to share? We'll do a last call. One thing I've learned in Tayo is to be comfortable in the silence. Someone will unmute eventually. They just need a minute or two. If not, that's okay. I'm happy to share my experience. So I think it was Andrea who mentioned that Tayo found her at the right time. I would say like every year that I've been a part of Tayo, I would say the same. I joined Tayo summer of 2022, I believe. I was going to my senior year of college at public health, and one of my classmates was graduating, and she was like, "Hey, you're Filipino. I'm Filipino." I was like, "No way. There's not many organizations on campus for Filipinos." And she's like, "Yeah, but if you want to get involved, I was part of Tayo. It's a really great organization. It's fully online. They're accepting summer fellows right now. You should definitely apply." And she like DM'd me the application. I signed up. I didn't really know what I was getting into. Yeah, shout out to Karina. I didn't really know what I was getting into, but I was really excited. And she talked about how TJ and Ate Crystal were like really cool and uplifting. I was like, "Yay, I can't wait to meet them." And then I met them. I joined the fellowship. It was really cool to be part of it was a kind of intimate group. We're about 7, I believe, and it was just really cool to meet every Sunday, talk about like our ideas and experiences being Filipino American. I think I was definitely surprised at how many Filipinos there were in the US in so many different states. Like Rafael mentioned, like I didn't know there was Filipinos in like New England. It was just so funny to hear about Filipinos are everywhere, which is really cool. And the experiences we all share are very, oh yes, our experiences are although we all grew up in different places, we share many experiences and like family narratives, cultural practices. It's just really cool to see how we might have grown up in different places, but have a common thread in a way. Um, so that year was really transformative. I finally felt like I was giving back to my community. I grew up in SoCal. We have Filipinos here, but in my immediate city, I didn't grow up around many Filipinos. So it was just nice to have a designated space where I got to collaborate and work alongside many Filipinos of different age groups. And our cohort, we did work on TikToks together. It was really cool to put together like health information and health videos in short form content. And it was a really fun way to express ourselves and be creative on the spot, because I think we had like designated time to work on it. That was a really pleasant experience, and I'm still connected with a lot of those fellows to this day, which has been really nice. And I was thankful to return and help the admin team in what year was it? I think it was summer of 2023. I got to come back and work alongside Ate Crystal, Kuya TJ, and Sarah May. She was really great, and we got to work on courageous conversations. And like a common theme, we join without knowing how the summer is gonna go. And that summer ended with so many amazing projects that were all created by fellows. We had them pitch their projects, and they ended up following through with them and creating projects that still exist to this day, which is so amazing and very meaningful to be a part of in any way, shape, or form. And then this past summer, shout out to Olivia and everyone who was part of this fellowship this year. It was so much fun. We really wanted to emphasize building community and doing meaningful work, of course. We had so many amazing projects, and I was just so fortunate to be a part of the first ever youth summit team. Our youth were so amazing. I keep saying this, but I didn't have to be there. They took the lead. They knew exactly what they wanted. They carried through. They had so many amazing guest presenters, guest speakers, panelists that were also a notable speaker was Grace DeLusan, an author who writes incredible pieces of work. And we had a youth panel. It was just such an amazing experience to work with such passionate youth who have such bright futures ahead of them. And it's very uplifting, and something to look forward to is that they are creating a youth advisory for Tayo. So if you know any youth 12 to, I believe it was 12 or 14, it was high school age. So if they're high school age and interested in getting involved in Tayo, please keep an eye out for that. That will be announced very soon. But yes, so many accomplishments that I got to witness, and I'm so grateful to be a part of Tayo, and it definitely found me at the right time. So thank you for hearing me out. And if anyone else would like to share, I'll do another last call.
Okay, nothing is fully formed in my brain. I'm one of the mysterious Filipinos on the East Coast, so it's almost 10 o'clock. Um, yeah, I mean, I think I also definitely resonate with the Tayo found me at the right time piece. I think this is my mom, everybody. This is Evangeline. We call her Evangel Queen. But yeah, she just DM'd me, I think, a story from Tayo and was like, you should do this. And I was like, why not? But I think I think a big part of, why I was excited to really dive into this is because like I'm half Filipino and I just have never really explored that side of my identity before, and I really wanted to learn more about my community, and myself and my family. And I know Lizelle mentioned the anthology, and I'm part of the anthology. And last summer I was a fellow and I was part of the cohort with the professor who was kind of helping to lead that, and I didn't know that that was gonna happen. No one told me. And so that was just awesome. And now like I feel like that was a place that I could, you know, apply some of the things I was learning in school. Like I'm an anthropology major and now I can do oral histories and, conduct, leadership and interviews and all this stuff. And I think Tayo has really just given me a platform to kind of explore what I want to do. And I think that that was a great way to do it. And I know I kept asking in the beginning, I was like, what am I going to do? What is this? What am I going to do? And like TJ and Ate Crystal kept saying, it's like whatever you want it to be, it's whatever you want to get out of it. And I need direction, and I was flailing, but then it kind of makes you just hone into what really matters to you. And, by the end, I really appreciated that. And so yeah, long story short, I think it helped me find a voice as a leader, working with Joed and Crystal and TJ and all these great leaders. And, help me zone into what actually matters to me and how I want to impact the community. So I'd say I'm just very grateful for Tayo, and I definitely want to keep doing it forever and ever. Thank you.
Thank you, Olivia. So nice to see you, and Evangel Queen. We love you. Thanks for being here. But man, it's been so nice to hear everyone's experiences and highlights. Once again, you're welcome to put more in the chat. I know sometimes you could be a little shy, especially it's nighttime, but we'd still love to hear your experience. And without further ado, maybe I should pass it back to Ate Lisa.
Sure. I was going to pass it on to the tech team if they are here. If you guys are ready to present, we'd love to hear more about the chatbot. I think who's here? I think Chloe, right? Chloe, John, Raphael. Are you guys ready to present?
Hi guys. All right, who wanted to share this? That was something we didn't really go over just yet.
I can share.
All right.
Right. Thank you everyone for coming to the mixer. And we just want to present our work that um, came out of our summer project, but is evolving into something much bigger and I think much greater, like than even what I had initially imagined when Joe Bell, the Tayo tech advisor, like pitched it to us. Um, and yeah, this I just want to acknowledge everyone who has been working on this so diligently. Um, John, Chloe, and I, Francis and Alex, and then our advisor, Joe Bell. And then there was also one more fellow, Shanna, during the summer who helped work on this chatbot. And yeah, without all of our efforts, we couldn't be here presenting to you all today. And so we wanted to use a approach to address the problem that a lot of people in our community face. In particular, Filipino Americans are the third largest Asian group in the US. However, they remain overlooked despite their vital roles in the workforce, particularly in like healthcare, as well as other roles. But with that being said, that role in the community has led to COVID-19, exposing our community members to disproportionate disease burden and mortality. At the same time, our community also faces barriers such as misinformation and disinformation, xenophobia and anti-immigration rhetoric, and linguistic barriers. And this highlights the need for culturally sensitive and trust building communication and information. And we thought that an approach through our chatbot could help get into some of these problems in tandem with all of the other work that Tayo has been doing. And so our mission is really to serve Tayo's diverse community by providing a friendly, intuitive, and user-forward chat tool that connects people to accurate information in languages like Tagalog, Ilocano, Bisaya, and English. And in doing so, we hope to be able to break down linguistic and cultural barriers that prevent our community members from accessing vital services, whether that's in the health space, in the education space, or other local services relevant to them. And so what our team has come up with is a Tayo chatbot. It's an online tool designed to help community members quickly find reliable information and resources. And by making it multilingual, um, we expand our reach and the amount of community members who can use this tool. And so users can get the support they need in the language they're most comfortable with. So some topic examples, this mirrors a lot of what the different like Tayo articles and webinars and things like that touch upon, but in our website, there's topics like public health and medicine, mental health and wellness, immigration and legal resources, and travel and transportation. And of course, this is a very large list of potential topics. And with that, and we'll touch on this later, we are trying to implement and do our due diligence in making sure that all of our information is accurate, our translations are accurate, and that we can get people the resources that are pertinent to their requests. Yes, so for example, health and wellness topics, again, mirror a lot of what has already been worked on by different people in Tayo over the past few years. So that includes COVID-19 resources, resources on cardiovascular health, resources on healthy nutrition and recipes, and stress management. And I can transition over to John to go through some of the aspects of our chatbot.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Raphael. So I will be going over the 4 key aspects we've been focusing on while developing the Tayo Chatbot website. So the first aspect is multilingual ability. As Rafael mentioned, our chatbot is capable of comprehending and responding in Tagalog, Bisaya, Ilocano, and English. While in the middle of a conversation with our chatbot, you can also seamlessly switch the language in real time. Our chatbot will also maintain communication using the language of choice throughout the conversation itself without switching to another language, which means it is very consistent. Next slide. The second aspect is accessibility. Using our design research and our user testing feedback, we implemented many accessibility features for readability purposes. This includes the ability to change font size and font family, to change line spacing, as well as having the ability to bold, underline, or highlight any part of the chat text. We also added extra accessibility features, which include a dark mode option, the ability to save chat history to your device, and the ability to quickly restart the chat. And we've also been focusing on optimizing the website for mobile devices. So that's a work in progress, but we should be able to have it prepared by this coming week or the next week. So definitely that's something that's in the works. Next slide. The third aspect is chatbot capabilities. We are using the Sonnet 4 chatbot as a template for our own chatbot. I'm sure many of you have heard about the Claude Sonnet 4.5 that just released, which is an upgraded model from ours. The thing is, our model was the most like advanced at the time, but we are definitely looking into transitioning into the more advanced version, which is Sonnet 4.5. But back to my point, Sonnet 4 was a chatbot made by a well-known AI company called Claude. So it was the most powerful chatbot at the time from the company, and it does have like some benefits over its competitors, including ChatGPT. It has superior translation, empathy, and accuracy. It also has a particularly long context window, so that means it's very capable at recalling past parts of a conversation. Furthermore, it is a very trainable chatbot, which is really important because we do plan to train Claude on reliable research documents and articles, which includes the Tayo Help website. Next slide. The last aspect is data privacy. So the website is secured through HTTPS, which means what is sent and received when using the website is private to you. There are also no trackers, which means your activity will not be followed around the web. I mentioned the save chat button to save chat text, and I wanted to clarify the fact that it only saves the chat text locally to your computer, and it does not get saved by us or anyone else. Lastly, I did want to explain the purpose of our chatbot, which is to provide general health information, as the chatbot is not a replacement for a doctor or health specialist. We do add a disclaimer on the website explaining this. So personal or sensitive information should not be provided to use our chatbot. Next slide. So let's hope this works. This is a demo video of our actual chatbot website. We do also have like a QR code towards the end of the presentation that you can use to access the website as well. Definitely preferable on the computer. But yeah, here's the demo video.
Hello everyone, John here. This is a demo video of our Tayo chatbot web app. So if you go to this link, you can access our Tayo chatbot. And I wanted to focus on 4 key aspects. The first key aspect is the multilingual ability. As you can see here, there are 4 languages to choose from. And if I write Kamusta with the English translation setting, we do get an English response. But if I write it rightfully so with the Tagalog translation setting, we get a Tagalog response. And I wanted to focus on another key aspect is accessibility, which is seen here with the font size, font family, and line spacing that can be edited. And we also have abilities to bold, underline, and highlight text, and we have the ability to play audio and stop audio from the responses. We also have a dark mode as well. The last aspect I wanted to discuss was the Claude Sonnet 4 chatbot that we're using for the responses. So thank you for listening to this presentation. I will be resetting the chat now, and see you.
Awesome. I'm glad it worked out. Now I'll be passing it off to Chloe to discuss a huge part of our project development, which is the process of using our chatbot, as well as our implementation of user testing. So yeah, I'll hand it off to Chloe.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm low-key looking like a ghost right now, so don't really look at my cam. I really butt lighting right now. It's awful. But anyways, yes, I'll be taking a quick dive for you guys as to how we created Chat tayo. So our first step was researching which large language model would best fit for our chatbot needs. So one that's, accurate, conversational, empathetic, and humorous with like strong translation, summarization, and comprehension abilities. So we developed standardized test prompts and tested 9 chatbots. So Claude Sonnet, which we already talked about, Helensky, ChatGPT, Poe, UChat, Gemini, Perplexity, Llama, and Gemma. So we evaluated each of our 7 core needs using a 1 to scale model. So 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest. Next slide. And then with this, we visualize the results in, bar chart forms to spot patterns. So Claude was best fit overall, scoring 4 or higher across all values, except for humor. But with support for English, Tagalog, Ilocano, and Bisaya, it consistently understood people while responding in a friendly, empathetic way, making it ideal for a community-focused chatbot. Next slide. Before building Chat tayo, we surveyed our target users about trusting AI for, health information. So most were cautiously trusting if the AI provides credible sources, uses clear language, and feels human. So their top priorities was ease of use, fast answers, and multilingual support. So they wanted help with public services, simplifying legal information, and translation. So these insights helped shape Chat tayo's focus on clarity, trust, and empathy within the community we're serving. Next slide. Using survey feedback, we ran 5 remote sessions where patients verified a false Facebook post about COVID vaccines for children under 5. Each ran for 30 to 45 minutes, focused on switching languages between English and Tagalog, and correcting misinformation within the Facebook post, checking sources about where the Facebook post is like getting its sources, and then clearing and getting clear next steps for what the users can do as parents to help their child who's under 5 years old to get these COVID vaccines. Next slide. So satisfaction was high at 4.26 out of 5, which is really good. But confidence and accuracy was about 3.2 out of 5, which is kind of on the low side. So people liked using it, but weren't sure that they could trust it just yet. And issues included text box problems, no loading indicators, and dense-centered text. And then there was also no conversation memory and overly formal Tagalog during our Chat tayo like 1.0 demo version of it. This was the one that you guys saw back in our summer presentation. The one that you saw today was like a whole updated version of it. So that's the one that was not tested on just yet. Next slide. So then as for user feedback, so participants found Chat tayo being friendly and simple to use, but noted formatting difficulties and missing source links and formal Tagalog greetings that felt repetitive. Next slide. So this was an example of one of the pain points of it being too formal. So these responses were actually back to back from each other. So a repeated magandang araw po. So have a good day. And the fact that it repeated it twice, the user felt kind of strange because they were like, well, I'm speaking to you in the same like chat thread. Why are you telling me have a good day again? And so that was something that we were working on fixing, and to my knowledge, we fixed it already, which is good. So yeah, so that was one of the pain points. Next slide. And then for next steps, we'll be focusing on left aligning text, adding loading indicators and credible source links, and making Tagalog more natural. And we'll also add memory features, accessibility options like dark mode and text-to-speech, and expand multilingual testing. All of which that we've already kind of integrated into our Chat Tayo like 2.0 already. It's just a matter of making it more mobile friendly for people to use. Because as of now, it's mostly been only desktop form. And I'll be passing this back off to who am I passing this off to? Oh my god, it's not John. Oh my god, no, Raphael. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you, John and Chloe. I think just to touch on to in terms of user testing or testing next steps, I think that one of the biggest things we can do um, that we haven't done yet is like those direct source links, not just from relevant national guidelines, but from the wonderful trove of information that Tayo already has developed over the past 5 years. We really think that that next step can really increase the trust and also just will allow people to benefit from the resources that are already made. Um, and so for our lessons learned, we learned that trust and access is really key, especially with a lot of the topics that we are touching on, in particular things like immigration, health, education, and local services. A lot of tools need improvement to close information and accuracy gaps, and we are working actively to ensure that the models and translations that we're using are as accurate as they can be. We want to minimize if people have heard of like the term hallucination, where false information is presented by these chatbot type models. Cultural input is necessary. We really value the feedback of our community members and users, and because out of the box, AI often lacks the cultural relevance and competence. So we really value that kind of input to further improve and iterate on our chatbot. And then I think that what we have found and learned is that there is a lot of potential for a simple chatbot to evolve into something more polished through both good design, modern tools, and iterating on people's feedback. And so the future directions for our project is that we are continuing to do user feedback. We are testing the demo to further gather insights and improve the chatbot. Part of it is presenting to you guys, part of it is presenting to other organizations like CYFAM that I mentioned earlier, and seeing their thoughts from like public health practitioners and physicians, clinicians' perspectives, refining features to better meet user needs and support their language preferences. So things like enhanced translation capabilities, making sure that we're not overly formal and really meeting people um, where they are at in terms of their expectations for how to use this tool to provide information. And then integrating it more with the Tayo Help website and linking again to those tools and articles so that people can have like a one-stop shop and really maximize the ability to browse through our various topics. And so we just want to say thank you to the leadership team of Tayo and for the FYLPRO Tayo Fellows who again um, has helped us with every step of the way and supported us in from the conception to design and now to like live implementation and presentation of this project. Um, and you can use this link beta.chatbot.tayohelp.com to test it out for yourself and give it a try. Um, and I believe that's the last slide. And I'll just leave the QR code up as well if people want to use. We are actively trying to improve the mobile, but yeah. Um, yeah, happy to take any questions or transition to the next part, I know it's also getting up there for some folks, but
Thank you, Raphael. Thank you, tech team. Want to acknowledge our other co-founder, Jobel, who led the tech team in this project this summer. I don't know if you want to say anything, Jobel, if you're in a position to speak.
Yeah, I just wanted to just shout out the team. They, uh, the three folks here, plus Shanna, who isn't here today, just kind of very blank slate. And, you know, I put them a little bit through the ringer in terms of trying out a lot of new methodologies and technologies that uh, are becoming industry standard now, but were still pretty new when they were introduced. And they just went right into it and managed to build this, which is just really awesome. I would love to hear from the team just now that you've had a few months to really work with LLMs and work closely with them and sort of understanding, I guess, better what they are capable of and what they're not capable of. What do you all think the biggest potential positives are for LLMs for the Filipino community, and some of the biggest challenges that are coming with LLM adoption and usage?
I can answer really quickly. Um, my opinions, I think what I've learned is that there is a lot of work to be done in order to do our mission, which is to provide culturally relevant and accurate information. And so I think one of the biggest challenges really is to really ensure that kind of accuracy, and um, making sure that people trust our responses. And we have such a large opportunity to do that based off of the large amount of work that's been done through Tayo and Tayo Help over the past 5 years. And I think that um, the fact of the matter is it's harder to make accurate information, particularly with AI and LLMs, than it is to make misinformation or inaccurate information with these same technologies. So really sticking to our mission and making sure that everything we produce is accurate and trustworthy as much as possible, I think is going to be one of the greatest challenges. But also it's like the whole point of our work.
Yeah, I think like something that's really important and that like LLMs have been trying to like progress towards is just like having representation for other Filipino languages beyond Tagalog, like for example Cebuano, Kapampangan, and Ilocano. So I think like there is a large potential for like LLMs and AI to be able to like represent Filipinos across the country, not just, you know, people in Manila who understand Tagalog, but people in Cebu as well, um, people in Davao. So I think I LMs definitely have like there's still a period that we're living in right now where like we're in an AI boom, and that includes like the ability of chatbots to be able to communicate with people in Filipino languages. So I think like this is just something really unique that will make Filipinos feel seen, not just like people who speak Tagalog, but other languages. And you know, for example, I was like showing my mom how ChatGPT was able to speak in Cebuano, and she was like amazed by it because she doesn't really like see much things like in the media that's in Cebuano, but and she's like from Cebu City in Mambaling, um, and she just felt like this is a really cool thing, and it's something that could get people to like use AI more. Um, and so basically, I just think it's something that could bring people together in some way and make people excited, but also just make people in the Philippines feel seen and represented. So that's what I love about like working on this project is like people that I know are like feeling seen, and there's people that I don't know across the Philippines that could feel seen if we take this far, like with this project in specific, the Tayo chatbot. So I'm just excited on what's to come, and that keeps, my spirit alive with this project.
No, I agree, John. Because my mom also tried using her chatbot, and she's not a very tech-heavy person. So she felt very seen being able to read like actual Tagalog being spouted out from the computer and not like a verbal TV show she's watching on her phone or something. So she was like, wow, I can't believe this exists. And it just made me really happy because I feel like especially for our older folks, they would use this a lot as a tool to be able to translate documents or just understand things that aren't in their native tongue a lot more easier. And again, like what Raphael said, it has so much potential, but just unfortunately, because of all the databases, don't have enough of our language just yet. We just aren't able to do that. But that's something we want to find out. We want to find those databases, those accurate databases, so then we can, include them in here somehow, so that we could get people to trust the accuracy of our translations, and so then this could potentially move further on beyond this year. Hopefully, the hope is for it to go beyond this year. And I'm just really honored to be a part. These lovely folks right here with me today. So, yeah.
All right. Thank you all. I know it's getting a little late for the folks on the East Coast, so we're almost at time. I would love to tag in one of my co-founders, TJ. You're always good to try to close us out. I would like to tap you in because you do this to me all the time, so I'm doing this to you. Would you be able to just close us out? And just, you're better at this than I am.
Zell. Okay. All right, everybody.
Photo. We should take a photo before.
Okay, yeah, we should take first of all
photo.
family photo, everybody. Except for anybody driving, please don't.
Yes, please don't. Okay.
Oh yeah, Nicole. Yeah, I'm gonna put. Yeah, bring the parents. Oh no, Bailey.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I gotta. Oh, Genevieve, it's so good to see you. Look at you. Don't be driving though.
Okay, everybody.
Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. I'll do one more. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, TJ, close us out, please.
Okay, great. Hello everybody. It's me again, the Jolly V. It's so good to see you. I'm just so happy and thrilled. Oh, all right, yeah. First and foremost, cannot cannot thank our ancestors enough for allowing us to be in couple with each other. Prayers answered. That's what it feels like. To be able to look within amongst ourselves, knowing what is actually happening in this current moment within our 5 to 10 mile radii, and still finding that ilaw or the tanglao, I don't know, that leads us towards that thing we call reimagine, rebuild, remember, restructure, or reset. Giving ourselves that state of grace is one of the best gifts that I've been able to go ahead and share amongst all of you. And anytime anybody ever asks what is so innovative about the technology, I believe Lizelle Tanglao said it so best. It's Tayo. It's us. We are the most innovative part of the technology. Dr. Palma would say that we are the evidence of the study. Our very existence is evidence that we are here. And that what started out as just, you know, a response becomes a whole lot more. It becomes a responsibility sometimes, or it becomes a recollection, or like I'm just trying to rediscover, or I'm trying to remember. And to hear everybody's experiences, to hear everybody who, wildly enough, chose to organize on the internet. Some of us have never seen each other in person ever. In 5 years, I still don't know how tall any of you are. Nicole, I've seen you. Oh my God, I didn't know that how tall you were. You know, I'm just like, wow, it's the first thing we notice outside of did you eat, right? It's like, wow, some of us, we're really tall. So, or not. Sorry, Crystal. Sorry. But what I do know for sure is that to choose to spend time, which is a non-renewable resource, that means that we could have been anywhere at this current point in time, Evangel Queen. And I just wanted to let you know, maraming salamat for allowing you to be here. You know what I mean? Like, thank you so much for listening to us, you know, for listening to the kids' table, you know, about like what we're trying to do here. And yeah, greatness, grateful, looking forward to all of y'all at the next meeting on Sunday. You know where we are. The Google Calendar invite goes out to everybody. If you're not on it, Lizelle, go ahead and start collecting them emails. But like at this point in time, yeah, thank you so much for just being us. You know what I mean? What a blessing to just choose to be us, especially now. I hope that wherever we choose to go, especially when we click leave, or if Lizelle has to go to a meeting really soon and then she just ends it for everybody, and then we're like, holy shit, I was still talking. But I just want to say, wherever we go, I hope that you know, like, we are still here. It's us. You can call us, you could text us, you could email us, you could come into the Zoom. You know, that has never changed in 5 years. As you can tell, some of us are still coming back to us. So please don't be a stranger. Let us know how you are doing. And yeah, I guess Lisa, do we have anything for anything else on the agenda? Anything? I don't know. No? Okay. Last thing I want to say, Tayo Tech. Oh my God, the Tayo Tech team, ridiculous. Like, my mind is blown. Man, internet is wild. The internet is undefeated. Y'all are undefeated. This is wild. Coding, Neo, Matrix. I'm sorry, Filipino Matrix, Keanu Reeves. I gotta let it go. I'm sorry. I'm so excited for that. That's wild, dog. I'm done now, right? Are we done? Yeah, we're done, Zal. I'm done. Tapos na.
Is this the afters now?
Are we at the afters?
Yeah,
we're gonna...
I mean, I think we're done.
Okay, I just want to make sure because I didn't know who had the magic mic or not. You know what I mean? It's like,
We're done.
oh, okay,
I'm stopping the recording.